tell us the story how you become a part of million dollar listing. A dream of any agent.
Yeah, it's a dream come true. I'm just so it's so surreal. It's just I wake up with a smile every morning now. I mean, it's I'm a big fan of the show. My colleague and Jennifer Sabri, who's also an executive producer on the show, she introduced the show to me. I started watching it and I fell in love with it. I mean, the Altman brothers, Ryan Serhant, I couldn't stop watching it. And I'm like, why is this show not here in Dubai and in the Middle East? We have some of the best properties in the world. I mean, you go to Abu Dhabi, it's insane, right? The skyscrapers, the properties, the villas, the quality. I mean, Aldar is one of the best developers in the world. I mean, the quality they have is second to none, right? We've got the Burj Khalifas, we've got the Palm Islands, we've got man-made islands the shape of palm trees. Who has that, right? So I'm like, we have the properties, right? And we've got the agents. We've got some of the best agents in the world. And there's drama as well. Every day I'm dealing with agents and there's always a fight or there's always something happening, right?
100%, yeah.
Right? I mean, you know, right? So I'm like, we've got all the ingredients for the best $1 million listing franchise in the world. And so I went after it. It was just a dream. I knew the power of media.
What exactly you did when you're saying you ran after it? What were your steps?
Oh wow! It was. I'm not going to bore you. It was about 3 years of basically contacting NBC Universal and then Image Nation, who are the format owners. Mm-hmm. They're Abu Dhabi government. And they loved the concept. They jumped on it, and they're like, why hasn't this been done? And so I had 3 years of rejection. I was knocking on doors here in Dubai. I spoke with everyone you can think of. And people just turned me away, and they laughed at me.
What was your request when you were knocking on these doors?
I said, look, I'm just a real estate guy, but I've got such a great idea. This is a 2-time Emmy-nominated show. It's in 140 countries. It focuses on the culture of the city or the country that's being showcased, and it shows the best properties and the whole real estate cycle, and it's entertaining at the same time. Who doesn't want to see entertainment? Who doesn't want to see Dubai real estate, right? And so for me, it was a no-brainer. The people that I sat with and I pitched it to them, they're like, yeah, okay, it's great. But when it came to the finances and the financials and the partnerships and this and that, just closed doors. I kept hitting brick walls, kept getting rejected.
Did you change something in your pitch or maybe something in your approach that finally you made it happen?
My approach, I said, you know what, I'm just, let's try Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi.
It never even crossed my mind because I've been living in Dubai for 20 years. I've been selling Dubai real estate.
Such a good idea.
And so I just got tired of because I had talked to you wouldn't even believe. And so it was one phone call to Abu Dhabi. It was a cold call. Literally. And I called His Excellency. He picked up the phone. Actually, I called him. He didn't answer his phone. He called me back 15 minutes. I was completely shocked. And I pitched it to him. I said, 2-time Emmy-nominated show. It's in 140 countries. And it's the best real estate show in the world. And he said, I'm interested. What do you need? I said, I need everything. And he started laughing at me. And then he said, okay, I'll get someone to call you back.
Wow, such a story.
And voila, here we are.
Yeah, amazing.
But it's not that easy. And then pretty much I met Image Nation, and their team is just amazing. Sat with them, and then they took care of everything, and I just enjoyed the ride.
So you one of the main agents on the million dollar listing, yeah. And beside this, what kind of role you were doing directly in the show? behind
So
this.
when
Besides putting it together.
right, so Image Nation had acquired the format, and then it took some time, obviously, to prepare everything. And when they got the format, I was told, Ben, thank you so much. You're an executive producer on the show. However, you're not guaranteed that you'll be a cast member.
Wow.
And you can imagine the feeling that I had. Like, I just got goosebumps right now just saying it. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, there's no guarantees. It's really up to the broadcaster and whether you're, fit and whether you're good enough to be on $1 Million Listing. You might not be good in front of the camera. And I was like, well, what are you saying? What do you mean? 3 years I've been running after. I'm thinking in my mind, 3 years I'm running after this, and now you're telling me that I may not even be on the show. And so I was just like, the insecurities that I had, and my back was just up against the wall, and just, I had to wait another 2 years, and then I had to go through the auditioning process that everyone else had to go
Wow.
through. Can you imagine? No, honestly.
Difficult. Yeah.
Difficult. And I was like literally just like biting my lip, through the whole audition, and just wondering whether I'm going to make the next round or not. Right. And then I had 2 hats to wear. I had obviously a cast and executive producer as well. So it was very difficult. It was not easy.
How many people were participating in the audition?
So we started with 3,000 people.
Jesus.
3,000. But there was a certain criteria, because companies that did like off plan and were focused on off plan, and we're talking about 2 years back, year and a half back. Those were kind of like excluded from the show
because you need to show something.
Right, exactly. It's showing houses, it's walking through and selling a house. It's not selling off plan properties. So we had shortlisted a few companies. We started with 3,000 people, and then it went to about 300, then 100, and then I remember 30, and then we had top 10, and then 8. We cut it down, and then we finally picked the final 5 cast members.
I assume after the series you became like close friends, or how are your relationship with the cast members?
So Riyad Gohar, who's partners in Black Oak, I know him for 15 years. I know him when he was working with Cecilia. Cecilia's at Aldar now. So they used to work together at Fine and Country. And they were my competitors. I used to work Jumeirah Park. So I know Riyad from then. We always hit it off. We were always close friends. Rami, it's a quite funny story. Rami, I knew that $1 Million Listing was coming up, and Rami had posted his very first video.
So he never filmed before, you mean?
Never filmed before. He just did a walkthrough in an Armani apartment. Right? So he filmed the video. Firaz had posted it on his Instagram. I had seen the video, and I'm like, wow, this guy's really good. So I reached out to him. I met him in the Armani. We had a coffee together, and I said, Rami, by the way, have you seen the show called $1 Million Listing? And he said, I saw 5 minutes of it, and I wasn't quite sure, and I stopped watching it. And I said, look, you need to watch this show. You need to watch it. Promise me you're going to watch it and come back to me. And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. So I was chasing him for like 2 weeks. Have you watched it? Did you watch it? And I remember one day him calling me up, and he's like, Ben, I watched the entire season and I was blown away. He's like, I can't stop watching it. This is awesome. Thank you so much for introducing this to me. So when I met him, I told him, look, I saw your video. You're really good in front of the camera. You're obviously, you speak Arabic as well. And he, interestingly enough, he speaks every single dialect of Arabic. He can speak Egyptian, he can speak local, he can speak Syrian, you name it, right? And so I told him, look, you'd be perfect for the show. And so he started watching, he loved the show, and then that's how we met. And he was handling a few of my apartments as well. He was doing my rentals, and I wanted to sell one of my apartments as well, and I listed it with him. So, so I've known him for now about 2.5 years, 3 years, and we've become really good friends.
What about other cast members? Like,
Yeah,
you spent
some of us.
For how long did you guys were filming the first season?
So first season was about 6 months.
And during this time, you saw each other quite often, right?
Not so much, actually, to be honest with you, because Riyadh and I saw each other a lot because we have a lot of crossovers. So we filmed Allegra together on the Palm by Innovate Living. We did the Lagoons by Aldar in Abu Dhabi. We competed in a golf tournament. I'm not gonna, obviously, I'm not gonna give it away or spoil it, but there was some drama. We did compete for a property in Abu Dhabi. So Riyadh and I, we had a lot of screen time together. We did interact a lot, and not so much with the other. I mean, everyone kind of did their own thing. So we don't. I mean, I like Zay. I just had met when she had been cast, so I don't know her for too long. Nasira, same, right? Nasira works in District 1. I don't really work in District 1 area, so I don't really interact with them.
What did you change in your presentations after working with like guys who are filming such shows? Did you change maybe something in your tonality, in your like energy on the camera, or something like this? How did it? How let's put it this way: how the show improved your presentations, if it did?
The show doesn't really improve the presentation. It's not easy to be in front of a camera because subconsciously you know that everyone's gonna see you. So I was worried about all my flaws and how I'm gonna look in front of the camera. So at first it was quite difficult for me, right? After a while, I mean, you've been doing this for a while, right? After a while, you get very comfortable in front of the camera and you just pretend like it's not even there, right? So at first, it was very difficult. It was frightening, to be honest with you. And I'm like a diesel engine. It takes me some time to warm up and to get used to the camera. But after a while, you know, it's just you get used to it.